Okay, guys. Hi. Welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome, Team Boss Babes Team Call. We have such a special guest on tonight. Her name is Jessica LaNier. She is somebody who I met in Portland 2 years ago. Our larger team, Hard Chargers, hosted they called it New Year's Summit. It was basically a training for our downline, but Vito has become good friends with a lot of people in the network, and he, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what's going on. John just handed me this little bag. I don't know what's going on. Am I supposed to open this? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so he has become friends with a lot of people in the network, and Jessica's coach and Vito have a really good relationship.
Danny, open it.
Oh.
Jessica's waiting for you to open it.
I'm waiting for you to open it.
What is going on?
Inside operation.
What are you guys doing? You did not. Why are you doing that? Oh my, I know how much this cost. You guys, oh my gosh. Okay, like, you guys, please don't spend your money on me. Like, oh my God, I'm literally shaking. I can't believe you guys. This is so beautiful.
What is it? Tell us what it is.
It is a diamond ring with a lot of diamonds, 11 actually, but there's 6 on the bottom. I know you can't see that. Let me try to get that in there for you. It's absolutely gorgeous. Stephanie had sent it to me and blocked out the price, but I'm Nancy Drew and I went on Etsy and I know how much this costs, so I literally can't believe that you guys would do that. You guys don't need to buy me anything. Thank you so much. So how did this get here? Stephanie, are you outside my door? How did this get here? Oh my God. Thank you so much. You guys really don't have to do that. Thank you.
Congratulations on your 6-star, Danny.
Congratulations, Danny.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, guys. You know there's 11 diamonds on here. You can see that. You can see what I'm doing there. This is, I can't wait to wear it. I'm gonna set it right here because my hand is shaking really bad. Thank you.
A lot of work into getting this for you. Just want you to know that.
I can't even imagine what you little ninjas were doing trying to get this to me. I don't even know what to say. It's just so incredible. Again, you don't need to do that. You guys are more than enough. You don't have to buy me presents. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah. Kat took it to John. Oh my gosh. So, you know, John almost ruined the surprise of you guys coming over when Kat texted him. He literally said I was standing like a foot from him and he looked at his phone and he was like, he said in his head, why is Kat texting me? And he almost said it out loud. And he's like, I'm so glad I didn't say that. I'm like, yeah, that would really ruin things. And I probably would have been like, yeah, what the hell, Kat? You want to go? Like, I am so psycho. Like, literally, like, I think everyone's trying to get John, and I'll punch anybody who tries to talk to him. So that's just me, though. Jealousy, that's the problem I have. Anyways, back to Jessica. She is incredible. So her coach, Liz Harkey, is Superstar Diamond in the network. She brought her downline, and Jessica and I ended up meeting. She's absolutely fabulous. We both got to present at Summit. Was that last year, 2019? We both got to present together 2019. Jessica is literally a Shakeology genius. She studied Shakeology and wrote a 38-page document and submitted it to Beachbody. Like, if anyone tries to tell you that Shakeology is not the bee's knees, you send them to her YouTube and they will be shut down immediately. Like, she is so incredibly smart. She is a 5-star diamond. She's a 1-star diamond in her husband's business center, a diamond in her second CBC. She's a 2-time premier coach. She has been coaching for 5 years and she has never ever missed Success Club, 52 months strong. She started out as a brand new mom, working 40 to 60 hours as a nurse at a prison, which no matter how you type that out, that literally just sounds like the worst thing you could ever do. I'm like, were you in prison? Like, what? I don't know. And I was like, okay. brand new mom working 40, 60 hours a week as a nurse in a prison, has never missed SC. Like, we hear all the time these crazy stories of people going through crazy things and overcoming that. So anytime people give me an excuse on why they can't hit Success Club, I'm like, I'm sorry. I just have no empathy for it, because there's somebody whose life is 10 times harder than yours and they made it a non-negotiable. It's 3 people. If you really love what you're doing, helping 3 people is a joy, right? It's not a chore. It's a joy to help 3 people get started every single month, right? Okay, she's incredible. She is a boy mom currently, but about to be a girl mama. How exciting. Literally about to have a baby. And she agreed to do our call tonight. And she's just a master at this business. So I wanted her to share her heart with you guys and talk about the importance of going diamond and what it really means for your business and going beyond that. So without further ado, Jessica, you got this.
Aw, yay. Thank you guys. I'm so happy to be here. You guys are a bunch of badasses. Like, seriously, making such a huge mark in our company, in our network, in our organization, and really in our world, because that's what it means to have a successful team, right? Is that you're actually making a difference in people's lives. That's what I love so much about our business, is that to get the accolades, to be already a 2021 elite team locked in, like, to do those things, that to do what you guys are doing, you cannot do those things without making a huge impact in people's lives. And what I love about what we do is that when you're helping a woman or mom or dad or whatever, you're helping a family unit. Have you guys ever thought about that? Like, the generational impact we're having in kids' lives is mind-blowing. It's exactly what our world needs. So it is an honor to be chatting with you guys tonight. I freaking love what we do, and I'm excited to bring this topic to you. Just so you guys know, I love interaction. So if you have questions at all along the way, please put them in the chat box. If I've missed something, please remind me at the end. I first created this presentation, I want to say 2 years ago. So I've been a coach for 4 years, and at the 2-year mark, I was able to fully retire from my nursing job in prison, and it legit feels like you're in prison when you're working in prison. I'll share with you really quickly kind of my coaching story and how I started, just because I think it's so cool to hear how different people start this for different reasons. Really brief backstory on me and kind of what drives me as an individual, because I think it's really important for all of us to clarify that, right? Why we're doing this. And to a lot of times, if you guys haven't recognized it already, it usually can be tracked back to our childhood. There's something that happened between the ages of usually 8 and 11, 13, that kind of made a big impact on us. I actually learned a lot about this at the leadership retreat I earned from my coach, Liz Hartke, this last year. And my story is so true when it comes to that, because when I was 11, on my 11th birthday, actually, I was hit by a drunk driver. And my dad took me to softball practice that day. My dad was 6'7". He was 33 at the time. And we were hit head on. We were about 7 minutes away from home, hit head on. We were on a motorcycle. The drunk driver was in a big truck, and we both were ejected 30 feet off the motorcycle, knocked unconscious, both meta-flighted to separate trauma centers. And every time I tell this story, I can't imagine being my mom, because I turned 33 on Thursday and she was 33. Like, it's such a weird mindset thing for me, to put myself in her shoes and to get a phone call. It was actually my uncle and our pastor that showed up at her door at 10 o'clock at night, and she knew something was wrong. And they basically told her, your daughter and husband were in a motorcycle accident, and neither of them are expected to make it through the night. And she had to literally drive. We were meta-flighted to it. The nearest hospital was an hour away. She literally had to drive past the accident scene to get to where we were. Like, I just can't imagine that. And so I was in a coma and on life support for a week. It required 5 different emergency surgeries to save my left leg. It was completely smashed between the motorcycle and the truck. About a week later, I started coming out of my coma, and about 3 weeks after that, they moved me home in a hospital bed where I had 4 metal rods sticking out of my shin. I had a metal plate and 10 screws in my femur bone and like 48 staples. I still have a huge zipper scar along the side of my leg. I had nurses coming every twice a day to help do dressing changes, but I was okay. I was okay. And it looked like my dad was slowly coming out of his coma as well. And until my mom came home one day. It was about a few days after I moved home, and she looked horrible. And she brought my little brother next to me, and he was about 5 at the time. And she had to tell us that our daddy had gone to be with Jesus the night before. And I know that I'm going deep really fast, but it makes sense to why I am so passionate about what we do and the generational impact that we're having. Obviously, that was earth-shattering, right, to lose your parent at a young age. I'm sure many of you have experienced loss really close to you, and no matter how old you are or who they are, when they're close to you, it shifts something in you. And so I, went through that grieving process as a little girl, figuring out what life was like. I had a lot of guilt, as you can imagine. It was my birthday. It was my special day that he took me on. He wanted to make it special on a motorcycle. So I had a lot of stuff to work through. I didn't understand why he was getting better and all of a sudden he died. I thought if I fell asleep, I was going to die too. So I had a lot of anxiety as a little kid that I had to process. And then it was almost like we had to grieve his death again when we got the autopsy results back. Because, mind you, my dad was 6'7". He was a ginormous beast of a man. And we knew that he wouldn't want to be a vegetable. If he had brain damage to the point where he couldn't be himself and he couldn't be the provider, he was literally like the Wrangler wearing Texan, Copenhagen in his back pocket, can fix all the things all the time. And we knew that he just wouldn't want to be, he would really struggle if he was a vegetable, basically, from brain damage. And so we kind of, were able to process that. And then we got the autopsy results back and found out he had no brain damage, that he actually passed away from a medical malpractice. As he was coming out of his coma, when you're coming out of a coma, you're really agitated. And so he had a sitter with him, because he was in between being in restraints, because again, as you're coming out of your coma, you pull at everything. And the sitter had stepped out of the room, and my dad had pulled out his feeding tube as he was, agitated, having an agitated moment or whatever. It was 4th of July weekend, and the nurse did not want to call the doctor on call. And so she decided that she was just going to put a tube back in the feeding tube hole, continue the feeding. You guys can kind of see where this is going. You don't have to be a medical professional to know that that's probably not placed in the right spot. That feeding went randomly in his abdomen, and it caused an infection called peritonitis. And that's actually what killed him. So I share this with you because my desire to earn my second chance at life that was given, my desire to help prevent preventable suffering in people's lives is off the charts. It has always driven me. I knew when I was laying there in a hospital bed, I couldn't walk for a year. I knew that I wanted to be in the field of making a difference in people's lives. And all that made sense to me as a little kid was a doctor or a nurse. That's what I was going to do, because I saw someone made a mistake that cost my dad's life, a preventable mistake. And if I could prevent someone else from going through that, that's what I wanted to dedicate my life to. And so I went into nursing. I am a very stubborn human. They told me, we don't know if you'll be able to walk again. And I said, watch me. We don't know if you'll be able to pitch. I was a pitcher in softball. That was like my whole life and through college. We don't know if you'll be able to do that again. And I said, I'm going to be in the Olympics. That's just my personality. That's who I am. And so I went straight into nursing school after I graduated high school, passed nursing boards. I played 1 year of college softball, and then nursing school and college softball just about killed me. And I had to choose. And then I got into nursing, and it was different than what I thought it was going to be as far as my desire to prevent things from happening to people. It was more of a Band-Aid. It was more of, and I had a ton of anxiety, hormonal imbalance, digestive issues myself that Western medicine wasn't able to fix. And I was so frustrated. And so that was after nursing school is kind of when I started researching more nutritional modalities, holistic therapies, homeopathy, Chinese medicine, like that's why I'm such a nerd about the human body. It just makes sense weirdly in my brain, the anatomy and physiology of how everything works together. And I became a certified holistic health coach. I've co-created $5,000 programs online for people that are integrative wellness programs, to $1,500 programs. Like, I've created a lot, I've learned a lot, and I've seen that how I can best prevent people from suffering is to get them at a foundational level. And that's what we do. That is what we do. That's literally a challenge pack, right? You get the community, the support, the nutrition, the fitness, the supplementation, and the superfoods, and the personal development, because you can eat all the kale, but if your head is messed up, you know you're not going to live your best life. We do that as coaches. And I tried to do that on my own as a health coach in my health coaching business, and you cannot make any money. I'm just be honest with you. You can't make any money. It's freaking hard. You create everything on your own, and you can't make good money doing that. And so I went back to work as a nurse in a prison, and it was different, that's for sure. Never want to go back there. So I have a really high necessity for this to be very successful, right? So how I got into coaching, I had my first son, got married, had my first son. I've never been the kind of person who wanted to ever be a work from home or a stay at home mom. Nothing against them at all. I just, before I had kids, I was like, that's just not for me. I'm a very driven person. Then I held my son, and I'm like, I never want to leave you. Like, Googling work from home nurse jobs. Like, how can I make this work? How can I do this? Because I didn't want to go back to prison. Like, what are the odds? But I had to. My paycheck here in California, my paycheck, especially at the time, my husband works in law enforcement, and my paycheck almost doubled his as an RN in California Correctional Department. And so I couldn't quit. That wasn't financially, that was not an option. So I knew I had to go back. I was also just diagnosed with a degenerative disc in my low back that prevented me. I could not, you guys, laying down, I was literally the person that was like, I'm fell and I can't get up. Like, I could not get up by myself because my low back pain was so excruciating. And I went to the doctor, they did x-rays, found out I had a degenerative disc in my lower back that was pretty severe that I never knew about before, that pregnancy triggered, like, it worsened. So I was 29 at the time, and my chiropractor was like, sorry, there's not much you can do. Because immediately, I'm stubborn, right? I could fix this. They're like, you can't fix a degenerative disc. And I'm like, yes, I can. They're like, no, you can't. And I, again, was like, watch me. I'm going to figure out a way, because I can't hold my son right now. I literally cannot put him in his crib. So I'm going to find a way to fix this. And literally, it was a day or two later that I saw this random chick's before and after picture on Facebook. We had no friends in common on Facebook. I don't ever remember accepting her friend request. And it was my coach, Liz Hartkey, and it was her before and after from being in a 22-minute hardcore test group. And she had just had a baby. And I was like, I want her abs. Like, I want her mom bod. That is what I'm doing. I reached out to her. I was like, I know you don't know me, but here's what I want. I want your results. I want the challenge pack because it's the cheapest. I want the coach account because, duh, it's cheaper. I want nothing to do with coaching because I have no time. I work 40 to 60 hours a week in a prison. I have a new baby, and my husband's on call 24/7 as a cop. So I have all the reasons why I will never be a coach. I'm not a product pusher. And to be honest, I'm better than Beachbody. Like, I didn't say that, but that was totally my perspective, because how could this Beachbody company with this superficial name know more than I do, who studied all the nutritional theories and had all the supplements and Chinese medicine and homeopathy. Like, how could they know what they're talking about? But her results intrigued me. So I want to do it. I can't go to CrossFit anymore because I have a baby and I work a ton, can't go to the gym. So I could do a 22-minute workout in my living room and wake up at 4 a.m. before I leave for work. That I can do. And so that's literally how I started. And she responds with, "Hi, nice to meet you." Sure, like, let's get you signed up. And so she got me signed up, and then she sent me this super basic Word document. No graphics. It wasn't even a PDF. It was a Word document. And all she said was, "Hey, Jessica, I know you don't want anything to do with coaching, but I just want to let you know that since you have a coach membership, if you have like any friends or family who want to do this program with you, here's how you could get them signed up with you as their coach, and you could earn a little bit of money." How many discount coaches who said I want nothing to do with coaching have we written off before? I know that I have. We don't want to be pushy, right? That was me. I literally said the words, "I want nothing to do with coaching." And she's like, "No problem. Here's how you'd sign someone up just in case." Within 2 days, I have nothing in the mail. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea about the business. I don't even know the business was a thing, right? Within 2 days, I had signed up 4 discount coaches. I literally was like, "Mom, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, best friend. Check out this girl's results. She did it in 22 minutes. I need to get in shape after baby. We should do this together. I think it'd be really cool. It's only $140. What do you think?" And they're like, "Yeah, totally. Let's do it." I'm like, "Cool. I need your credit card information, your social security number, your birthday, your email address, your mailing address, and what flavor of Shakeology you want. Stat. And I'll take care of it." Because back in the day, before ShareCart, that was kind of how we did things, right? And so, I got a couple like, "Why do you need my social?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's just like taxes thing, but you want the cheaper." I didn't even ask them if they want a customer account because I was like, who would want a customer account? Who wants to pay retail when you could get it cheaper? Duh, right? This is just what made sense to me. So I had no idea about preferred placement or the EFT or Success Club or Emerald. So I had 4 coaches signed up within 2 days, and Liz was at a conference, and I remember she emailed me and she was like, "Who are you? How did you already hit Success Club and hit Emerald?" And I'm like, "What are these gems that you're talking about and this club that I'm a part of? I have no idea what you're talking about." And she's like, "Okay, we need to please just get on the phone with me. Like, please just humor me, and I want you to answer these 2 questions." She emailed them to me. And it is the reason I'm here today. And so I'm going to share these 2 questions with you, and then we're going to get into diamond content. But she asked me, if you could have anything, if your life could look like anything 1 year from now, what would that look like? And then same question, but 5 years from now. If you could create your dream life 5 years from now, what would that look like? And dream big, sister, is what she told me. And I will never forget reading those questions and sitting at my dining room table with my husband in my awesome house with a healthy baby, with a 6-figure paying nursing job, with the literally white picket fence, with everyone's healthy and happy, and thinking, I don't know how to answer this question. And I felt like an idiot. I don't know what I really want. I mean, I'm comfortable. For any of you who listen to Brendan Burchard, he talks about the cage life, comfortable life, and the charge life. I was so comfortable. But if I was being honest with myself, do I really want this? If I could have anything? No, obviously I would not be working in a prison. And so that's literally what got my wheels spinning. If I could make my nursing wages from home, still be present with my kids, but doing something I absolutely love that's making a difference in the world, because that's who I was created to be, that's what I'd be doing. and then I told myself, but that's not possible. Did any of you in the beginning be like, that's not possible? You can't make 6 figures working from home, actually making a difference in people's lives. That's not possible. That was literally what I told myself. She's like, Jessica, you have no idea. She was 4 years in at that point. I was one of her 15 stars when she ran for 15 star. And so and I think that was the month or the year that she hit Million Club. So like, she's living what I was dreaming to achieve. And she's telling me, you have no idea. And she said, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to hit Success Club every month. This is what that means. And then your first goal is diamond, and then we'll go from there. And I did. And I literally never stopped. But she never had to tell me because, again, my personality is when I see that what I'm doing is making a difference, and when I see the vision of what this could mean for my family, I will freaking show up for it, even when it's hard. Because it was hard when I lost my dad, right? It was hard when I couldn't walk for a year. It was hard doing physical therapy. It was hard going back to playing softball and the mental, emotional, struggle that was when I had my dad out there. My whole life, he was my biggest fan, and then I didn't. I had to learn how to take my challenges and my fears and my insecurities and make them work for me and fuel me to push past them because of what I wanted to create with my life, rather than letting those things be an excuse as to why I wasn't going to show up. Because I'm not trying to at all to toot my own horn. I really want everyone to know, like, it's up to you. You have a choice in everything. I'm a huge believer that we will all be blindsided by things in our life, but we always have 100% control over 2 things: our perception of our situation, whether we're going to be a victim or we're going to choose to overcome it, and our reaction to it. How are we going to react to it? I could have become an alcoholic. I could have said I lost my dad, and that's the reason why I have all these daddy issues and why I go sleep around and why I am self-destructive. Or I could choose to live a life where I feel like I'm earning my second chance at life, because I know it could be over in a split second. Something that my dad would be proud of me for. And that was, by the grace of God, what I chose. My faith has always been a huge part of who I am in my life, and all the valleys that I've gone through, including being blindsided by a divorce at 26. And I had to figure out, like, I was just told I'm not skinny enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not all these things enough, by it's not you, it's me, after being with this married for 4.5 years. That's like a whole nother story, but I had to choose, am I going to believe that? Those were the hardest words. That rejection is the hardest thing that I've ever had to choose to overcome. Because that rejection from people when they're close to you, it's really, really hard. And I'm sure that many of you have experienced some sort of rejection, even if it's your family not supporting your business. We get to choose to let that crush us, or say, I'm going to show you. Just wait. Just be patient. I'm going to show you what's possible. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to be a light, and I'm going to inspire you to want to be a better person, since you're trying to attack me. And there's kind of a sweet, twisted revenge in that, right? Like, anyways, that's a whole nother tangent. Okay, so that is kind of, that's a lot about me. That's how I got started. I've never looked back. And this business has been the best thing in the world. I am so incredibly thankful. So I'm going to share these things. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to also send to Danny so you guys can have them afterwards. So don't worry about writing everything down, because I will share them with you. 1 second. Oh, it says I can't. Is there a special? I don't have to. I just figured it'd be easier for you guys. Am I good now? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so I am going to share with you guys in my perspective, how to get to diamond in a month and what that means. So I'll be honest with you. When I first started, I'm all about health and fitness. That's my comfort zone. Coaching was not. The business was not. Numbers were not my comfort zone. And so 2 years in, I was doing really good. I had Success Club every month. But I was like, why am I struggling to get diamonds? Have any of you said, like, why can't I get coaches to sign up with me? Why can't I get working coaches? Why does nobody want to like grow a business or hit emerald or be a success starter or go to diamond and beyond? And then I read the book, Get Over Your Damn Self. Have you guys read that one? So good. And all the timing was so perfect because it was right before I had to make the decision to quit my job, right after I had my second baby. And the chapter that I read was talking about fear. And I am someone that's like, besides like, I'm afraid of like crashing out of the sky in a broken airplane, or I don't ever want to go skydiving. I personally don't look at myself at this point in my life as someone who struggles with fear, like mental fear, fear of judgment. I've always thought I didn't struggle with fear very much. And then I had this awakening of I was afraid that I wasn't good enough to teach people how to be successful in the business. And so I avoided it. Can anyone be honest with yourself and say, I've totally been doing the same thing? I mean, maybe not because you guys are a badass team, but that is totally where I was at my 2-year mark. I signed up everyone as a discount coach, and I never said anything to them about what my coach said to me about, hey, if you want to get someone signed up, this is how easy it is. This is the vision it could be. I just didn't. And so I realized in March of 2016 that I was dedicating the entire month to teaching about coaching. That's when I started my YouTube channel, and that's when I started leaning into my fears. I didn't just avoid my fears. I ran into them, and that's what the book had talked about, one of the chapters. And that's when I created this training, because I realized if someone really, like, if you really go from new coach to diamond in a month, how much would that be? And I started to add it up. It would be about $1,000. Why am I not telling people that? That's life-changing for so many people, especially right now, you guys, in our economy that's broken with a business model and a company that's exploding. What a life-changing gift. And that's when I started to realize it's not Shakeology and the nutrition programs and the fitness that's the biggest life-changing gift we have to offer. It's actually the business. But I have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, again, I choose how I react to things. So I chose to dive in and start learning. If someone asked me, how do I earn my first $500? I wanted to be able to have, an answer for them. And I didn't, before I did it. So I have a video on that. It's one of my top watched YouTube videos. If someone asked me, how do I get to Emerald in 24 hours? Well, how would I tell them? And I made a video about it. And then how to get to diamond in a month, I made a video about it. And I just continued that because for me and for a lot of people, you don't really learn something and become confident in it until you teach it. I didn't know anything about YouTube until I learned something about YouTube. You're not going to know anything about being a mentor as a coach until you become a mentor as a coach. Like, that's just how life works, and that's so how our business works. So these are my top tips for how to get to diamond in 1 month. And for those of you who are diamond, hopefully some of these tips will help you teach your people. You just make it easy. When we make diamond hard, it becomes super hard and super long and super unattainable. But when we make it easy, it's easy, right? So number 1, create your vision and your diamond tracker. I don't know if your guys' team has one that's specific to you. I know Beachbody has one. I have one. I'll send this to Danny as well. But the Beachbody one didn't make sense in my brain. And so I needed one that made sense to my brain. Thank you, Canva. So in order to know where you're going, it's like the vision board, right? You need to know exactly the steps that, like, what you're accomplishing. What does diamond look like? It's 12 people. That's it. It's 12 people. So I have all my this is my diamond tracker. And these, as you guys know, the little green things are emerald. You never know what one of your coaches is going to go emerald. And so I wanted a spot for all of them to go emerald. And then it's just a little reminder at the bottom what it means to be active. It's 12 people. It's 4 coaches on each leg and then an emerald coach on each leg as well. So in order to help people even further, I created a sample diamond team. And so for me, my first 2 people were my mom and my husband. And then I showed how simple this could be within a warm market. Literally, it's 2 best friends, 2 coworkers, your grandmother, your husband, your mom, your dad, your mother-in-law, your husband's best friend, and your mom's best friend. That could be a diamond team. It doesn't have to be yours, but that could be, because all of a sudden, your mind, when it sees this, it becomes so attainable. Diamond's actually not that big of a deal. That's why confetti doesn't fall from the sky when it happens, even though sometimes we wish it did and we act like it's going to, and then it doesn't. So this is really important, is just knowing how simple it is and printing out some sort of tracker so you know exactly what you're working towards. So what I do is I have my coaches print this out, and in pencil, I have them write in people who they really think would support them or want to get healthy with them and sign up. So in pencil, they write in a diamond team. And as they get people saying yes, they write them in pen. And it's just such a good, like, mental, it's so much of coaching you guys and leader and mentorship it's so much of it is your mindset. So much of it is your belief, if you haven't figured that out already. So that's number 1. Fill in people as you go, fully expecting 100% in your brain, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Maybe it won't be in a month. Maybe it'll take me 3, but I promise you, this is going to happen. And when people struggle with their confidence in that, or their confidence in hitting Success Club, it's easy for me to use moms in this. Like, this is an extremely dramatic example, but if your kid's life depended on you hitting Success Club, or if your kid's life depended on you building your team to diamond, I know without a doubt every single human could do it. It's not, and when we put ourselves in that mindset, it means that it has nothing to do with your capability to actually do it. Because you know you could. It's whether or not we're willing to get vulnerable, to be teachable, to put in the work, to believe in ourselves. I find that so many coaches that's the thing they struggle with the most, is to believe that they can actually do it. Are you willing to do it? Because you also, and granted, I'm going to talk about mindset here in a second too. So have your vision, tell your coach your goal, and schedule weekly check-in times. Not that you need to get Danny on the phone, because I personally don't do a lot of one-on-ones. My family is nuts right now. Like, the reason I'm in my bedroom, you guys, because my puppy chewed my laptop cord, so it's no longer working. And then my husband just had bilateral hernia repair, so he's completely laid out on the couch, and I have a 2 and a 4-year-old. I'm super pregnant with a lot of pelvic pressure, and my midwife is like, you need just like 3 more weeks for your baby to stay in there. And I'm like, I'm trying. And so last minute, I literally unplugged my desktop from my living room and I carried it into my bedroom, and that's why you're here with me. But like, you need to have those check-in times for accountability. So for me, I'll text Liz, because she doesn't do one-on-ones really either, because she has a crazy life of her own. And I say, like, you don't have to respond to me, but I'm just telling you, this is what I'm doing this week. This is what I'm aiming for, or this is what I'm aiming for this month. Here's my tracker if you want to see it. Here's the areas I want to work on. Be responsible for your own stuff, because it's not your coach's job. I know some coaches are amazing about it, but it's not your coach's job to be on you about what are you doing, what aren't you doing, what are you struggling with, what aren't you struggling with. Like, take that initiative if you want accountability to say, I'm going to check in with you every Monday, just so you know, I'm going to send you a voice memo or a text message, and that really helps me to stay on track. Number 2, hit Emerald in an hour if you haven't. This is another thing, and I know that Danny's super awesome about this. It really is a decision. If you're married, highly recommend setting up your spouse. I know that you guys know this already. The residual income, it's just a huge long-term advantage to have that done. You make the second person someone who's really close to you, who already trusts you, who will support you, and without many questions asked. Hey, let's do this together. This would be super fun. And then if you're not married or you have zero family, which I do have friends, and I have successful coach friends who are in that situation, then we're going to move to step number 3, where you need to create something to invite to. Always have something to invite to. And if you don't have something to invite to right now, figure something out tonight that you're going to invite to tomorrow so that you can be excited to send invites and post about it and share about it and get excited about. Again, you guys are a killer team when you have the best leader for these kinds of things, about like getting creative about how you're going to market your challenge group, or how you want, what you want to include in it, and how you share your story, and always bring it around to the coaching opportunity. But you have to be excited about it, or you're going to fall flat on your face and you're going to struggle. So find a way to get excited, find a theme, find something, and share about it every single day. And I think it's really important that we see the value in what we have to offer and the solution we have to your avatar's problem. So know who you're talking to. Know who you're talking to. What are their problems? Are they new moms who don't sleep? Are they exhausted all the time? Are they surviving off of coffee in the morning and wine in the afternoon? Are they struggling to lose weight? Are they struggling with confidence? What are the things that they're struggling with? And then you talk about how you're fixing those problems in your groups. And that's the value that you're offering people. Talk about that transformation solution. Let's see. Understand the value of signing someone up as a coach. Again, when I started, I was like, duh, no brainer, right? So you kind of have to have your own understanding of a duh, no brainer, why you would sign up with a coach membership. And granted, there are people who are like, I'm not giving you my social security number because my identity is going to get stolen by everyone in other countries, and I will not do that. There are people like that, and they're usually great Aunt Marys or something like that. They're like, I'm just not doing it, which is fine. But I think that mindset is really important. So get to Emerald as soon as possible. Number 4, if you guys haven't figured this out already, you need to talk to people in this business. I don't care if that's on social media, or now, I don't know where all of you live, if your county is open, at a coffee shop, or in a mom's group, or like, people need you to talk to them and be friends with them and to care about them and to ask them questions. You have to do this in this business. Literally, we get paid to make friends with people. That's pretty awesome, right? So you have to care. So talk to people. Again, only 12 slots that you're trying to fill to get to Diamond, and obviously we're going to go beyond that. Make your goal to invite 100 people to your next challenge this month and see what happens, and be like excited about it. Don't be freaked out about it. Like, how could I even do that? You guys know so many more people than you think. Google Beachbody Memory Jogger and use that tool. It's literally on the Google. All the things are on the Google that you could ever need to be successful. Okay. Be strategic. Know your deadlines Wednesday nights. So Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Pacific time for us, before rank advancement changes and payday happens. Know your preferred placement. Know how you'll get to an emerald on each leg, and see that happening. And try to get everyone to Emerald in 24 hours if you can. Again, this is not like, you don't have to do anything. I'm not your boss. Danny's not your boss. But like, what if you made that a goal and you missed it, but then they became Emerald in 3 days? That's still a huge win, right? So just check your ambition, check your mindset, check if you're trying to make things harder on yourself than they need to be. And that's the last thing. Check your mindset. Right? Be honest with yourself. Can you feel becoming Diamond in the next 30 days? Can you feel becoming 1-star in the next 30 days? Because if you had signed up your spouse's account and you're working it together, right? Together, and you guys can build his account or her account to Diamond in 30 days, and then you become a 1-star. And then you're showing other people what's possible. And you're saying, let's run with this together. Look what we can do. Let's get you to earn $1,000 in the next 30 days. How cool would that be? Or $500. How cool would that be? How bad do you want it? And then what does it mean to you? And I think this is one of the most important. I have one of my coaches who is struggling with getting to diamond and struggling with the work that it was taking. And I was reminding her, and I was asking her, like, what do you want in your life? Like, what's important to you? And she's building this beautiful house on the water on the East Coast, and she's always seen it as a safe haven for people who are really struggling. And I was like, okay, so when you hit diamond, you're cycling more, right? So you're earning more income, and you're realizing that furnishing this beautiful house is going to cost you a lot of money. And so what if you be hitting diamond and earning more money, consistently growing your business, inviting to coaching, doing these things that have made you nervous, meant that you could buy this beautiful couch that you want for your living room, where this next Thanksgiving, a pregnant teenager is going to be sitting, talking and praying with you, crying because she was having a hard time, but that's her safe haven. And she's sitting on that couch because you put in the work to hit diamond. That's really important for all of us, right? Whatever our goals are, to have that correlation, that connection with, why am I really doing this? The fun, like the accolades and the shiny stuff is fun temporarily. Like being elite is fun to walk across the stage for 5 seconds. But what does it really mean? What does it really mean to you? How is that going to impact your family? For me, I'm staying out of prison, right? For me, I'm raising my kids and making a difference in the world, and I'm showing my kids what it looks like to work your ass off and believe in something that they can actually do whatever they put their mind to and they're willing to work towards, because I'm setting that example for them. I'm not just telling them. And I'm showing them how to show up when life gets hard. And to me, that's everything. And I'm being able to be present and instill those morals within them. And I'm never going to miss a soccer game. That is what coaching and working hard and hitting Success Club and hosting coach sneak peeks and doing all the things that I didn't know how to do before, that's how that's impacting my life. And you have to have that connection, especially as you grow beyond diamond and you deal with, the bigger you get, you guys, the harder the rejection is going to come at your way. The bigger your social media is, the more haters that you're going to get. The bigger, like Lindsay Matway's probably lost more diamonds than anyone in our network, but she's extremely successful, and she's lost, I can't even remember what she had said at Summit last year. I can't remember, but it was like an insane amount of diamonds, and premier elite coaches, 6-figure earners have quit under her. Like and we get sad when we get a coach cancellation, right? So like the bigger you get, the harder the hits are going to come. And that's why you have to have this steadfast grip on what this means to you and why you are moving forward no matter what. Okay, so I want to do a quick breakdown. Granted, when I created this was when I think it was when Lift 4 came out. Maybe I think I updated it since then. So here's how the whole $1,000 breaks down and how I broke it down for my brain. These are some of our most popular challenge packs. This is going to be a little bit skewed with our sale this month. Excuse me, but not with much. So know your commission that you earn on different challenge packs. Like know that, because it's really helpful. 2B Mindset, Shakeology, Beachbody On Demand, your commission is $75 for that challenge pack. It's $60 for the nutrition programs and just Shakeology. And then it's $50 for our annual All Access Challenge Pack. And it's $50 for our Shakeology or 3-day Refresh Challenge Pack, which is great for spouse accounts, right? And then if you add on, granted, if they're a customer and they add on stuff, you earn additional commission. If they're a coach, they get a discount on all the things, and you don't necessarily earn more. You're just going to earn more volume from that. And I know that's a whole nother conversation. But basically, here I put together on your left leg, if you have 4 coaches, start with the 2B Mindset Challenge Pack. 4 times 75 is $300. On your right, if you have them sign up with the Ultimate Portion Fix Challenge Pack, 4 times 90 is $360, because that one's more, right? So you're at $660 in commission right there, and just commission. However, remember, if you have a significant other that you decide to work with and you sign them up as a coach, and that's the same household income, and you bring them to Emerald, that's another $150. And then did you know we have fast track bonuses? So when you sign up 5 coaches with the challenge pack with within 5 consecutive weeks, Beachbody will give you an extra $100. So we've got your commission from your business account, your spouse's commission, and your $100 in Fast Start bonuses. And that is $910 just in commission and bonuses. That does not include Team Cycle bonuses. That does not include if they get the deluxe challenge packs, which is saving them so much more money, right? It doesn't include any of these. This is like minimum. So this is how we can, with confidence and not breaking policy and procedure, say like, hey, and I want to challenge you guys, go do a YouTube video, go teach, let me teach you how you can earn $1,000 in a month. Make it make sense in your brain, and then go teach it to your teams or go teach it to a new coach and say, I just want to get this out there because I need to like repeat it in my head, right? So yeah, that is essentially how that works. And as you guys know, getting to diamond is starting your car in your business. Now you become the teachers, but you don't have to wait to become diamond to teach other people how to do it either. And that was one of my biggest mistakes, is I waited way too long to start teaching this. You can start teaching this as a brand new coach and say, this is my plan, this is where I'm going, who wants to go with me, let's build together, just like our fitness journeys. Okay, do you guys have any questions for me? Was this helpful at all? Boom shakalaka, you like my hashtag? It's good.
Yes, this was amazing and super, super helpful. Do you guys have any questions for her? If you do, ask them now. Don't be shy. We only have 6 minutes because we want to honor her time. So if you have a question for her, whether it was on her presentation or not, just ask the question.
My Shakeology document. I have very much a love-hate relationship with compliance. I mean, they love and hate me both. And it's so hard. So the Shakeology document basically gave them a stroke. They were literally, what they told me is, we're not ready for you yet. And I have come to find out, especially when coronavirus hit, one of the things that I had shared, and I shared this in the round table because I was very proud of the quercetin and our Energize and our Hydrate, and that it was in clinical trials against SARS viruses. Again, I'm a total nerd in this kind of stuff, you guys. And I did a post about it, and I said, in no way am I claiming that Energize or Hydrate has any impact on the coronavirus. In no way. But I thought that this was really interesting that it's this one ingredient is in this clinical trial. That was it, right? Yeah, I got a phone call at my house at 9 o'clock at night from Jemima from compliance. Literally, you guys, like, I was in tears. Granted, I was pregnant. Also, that doesn't help, but it was so hard. So I will say, like, being this this information training voyager in this field is really hard. But you guys, we're part of a 1.3 and probably more billion-dollar company, and we have a huge target on our back. And so the document I created, the reason why I haven't published it, even though they don't really know what to say to me about it, because so for you guys who don't know, I took every single ingredient in Shakeology and I matched it to different medical journals and clinical trials, with a ton of disclaimers, of course. My brain goes to the root of what is in it. And unfortunately, a lot of people will take things like that out of context. And that was their explanation on the phone call that I got, which I understand. Even though I said, in no way is this happening, even though in my document it says, in no way am I saying Shakeology cures cancer, but chaga mushroom and reishi and, all these things are in clinical trials with cancer studies. It's, I forget what it's called, but there's a certain thing, and the FTC is like super hardcore about it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I talked to Kim Carver about it, and he's like, you have no idea how much you've helped us. Like, we've created trainings based off of the stuff you've sent us. I'm like, well, no one's freaking told me that. So, my best advice, if you want to learn more about Shakeology, is to take a couple ingredients and just research them for your own like confidence, especially the adaptogens. It's the most powerful formula by far, in my opinion, and what we have to offer.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for her?
Oh, my PD. Okay.
Oh, I don't have a question, but like I'm just new to all this and I'm barely touching the water. I'm kind of like right, where I'm just, I've referred my first person and got my first, customer, or I mean, I don't know if you would call them a customer, but just helping somebody, right? And trying to help them change their life. And all this kind of has given me a lot of insight and kind of filled in the kind of gray areas that I hadn't really thought about or, really got into and learned more about. So thank you.
Awesome. It is a process. I will tell you, like, you're not gonna, probably in the first year, you're gonna feel like you don't know really what you're doing. And my best advice is to do it anyways. Like, do a live video anyways and see what happens. Ask people what they want to learn about. Ask people what their struggles are, and do research in your community on social media and ask them what they need help with, and then be the resource for those people. But that's awesome. Welcome to the family. And then someone had else asked about PD books, and that book I mentioned was Get Over Your Damn Self. It's really good about network marketing and all the stuff that we deal with. Other than that, like, I'm very similar to Danny. I love anything on leadership because we want to be a leader of leaders and not a leader of followers. And there's just steps in this business though, where if you need to learn how to believe in yourself first, then you need to learn how to believe in yourself first. And that comes down to a choice. I love Trent Shelton. He helps you skew your perspective to make your hardships be your platform, not your prison. That's so like about the message that I'm about. And you can always ask. Brene Brown's awesome. I love her. Power of Vulnerability is really powerful. Did I miss anything else?
Think a lot of thank yous. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.